Marvel has just released a new Fantastic Four Comic-Con trailer revealing a significant amount of new footage. Among the highlights is the first look at Galactus, which stays true to the comic book depiction, unlike the Chris Evans movies. The trailer, which plays like a vintage highlight reel, provides Easter eggs and WTF moments, and hints at Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom making an appearance in the post-credits scene. The movie is set in the 1960s, with the Fantastic Four already having their powers when the story begins, and features Reed Richards explaining the existence of alternate dimensions and parallel Earths. The footage suggests a crossover with the main MCU universe and sets up connections for future movies, including Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. The Comic-Con trailer also includes a look at the Baxter Building, references to Mole Man and the Fantasticar, and hints at Franklin Richards' significant role involving Galactus. It showcases a mix of retro-futurism with elements of clean energy and advanced technology developed by Reed Richards in the 1960s. Eben Moss-Bacharach will portray Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, using motion capture similar to Hulk and Red Hulk. The trailer ends with a post-credits scene featuring Galactus, teasing a connection to Franklin Richards. Doctor Doom is expected to have a minor presence in this movie, with a more significant role in future Avengers movies, portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. This sets the stage for the next big villain in the MCU, following Thanos. San Diego Comic-Con unveiled a plethora of exciting updates for Marvel fans, particularly the highly anticipated Thunderbolts trailer. This new footage confirmed several fan theories and provided fresh insights into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Key revelations included the true nature of the Thunderbolts team and the long-awaited disclosure of who purchased Avengers Tower, a mystery lingering since the events of Spider-Man Far From Home. The trailer showcased Yelena Belova reuniting with Red Guardian, highlighting his comedic and chaotic lifestyle post-Black Widow. Their interaction set the stage for deeper emotional arcs and connections to other MCU storylines, such as Captain America: Brave New World, where freed Black Widows play pivotal roles. Further, the trailer delved into the complex dynamics of the Thunderbolts team, hinting at internal conflicts and personal traumas. Notably, the character of Robert Reynolds, aka Sentry, and his alter ego, the Void, were explored, suggesting a plotline where the team must navigate his dual nature. The footage also hinted at a significant twist: Val's manipulation of the Thunderbolts for her gain, leading to a mission where the characters are pitted against each other. The reveal of the Avengers Tower's new owner and the implications for future MCU narratives, including a potential Dark Avengers storyline, added layers of intrigue. Marvel's strategic storytelling continues to weave intricate connections, setting the stage for a thrilling cinematic experience. Another big box office weekend is ahead, although the new releases are not particularly major, with Borderlands being the big release next week. The focus is on the second weekend for Deadpool and Wolverine, which had a record-breaking $205 million opening weekend in the United States. The second weekend is crucial as it sets the pace for the film's theater run and future marketing efforts. Expectations are high, with projections of a 50–60% drop, translating to $80–100 million. Even at the low end of $80 million, the film would surpass initial expectations. A $90 million take is considered a safe bet, while $100 million would exceed all predictions and significantly impact its potential billion-dollar earnings. The worldwide box office performance will also be key, and updates will be provided over the weekend. Overall, prospects for Deadpool and Wolverine remain strong, with minimal risk of a steep 70% drop. There's a growing theory that Robert Downey Jr. might not be playing Victor Von Doom or Doctor Doom as many initially thought. Following the announcement, Downey Jr. posted a photo of himself with a mask, sparking speculation that he might not be Doctor Doom at all, but rather a reimagined Tony Stark, who becomes Doctor Doom in an alternate multiverse scenario. This theory suggests that instead of portraying the classic Doctor Doom, Downey Jr. could be playing a version of Tony Stark, who follows a different path, which would leave room for a more traditional Doctor Doom introduction in future MCU phases, possibly in Secret Wars, or a subsequent reboot. This approach could simplify the narrative by avoiding the need to drastically alter Doctor Doom's established comic book background, making it more palatable for fans. If true, this theory could alleviate concerns and generate excitement for how the MCU will integrate these characters. As Marvel Studios wraps up Phase 5 and transitions into Phase 6, which will culminate with major events like Avengers, Secret Wars leading into Phase 7, several upcoming film releases remain unconfirmed. Phase 6 will officially begin with Fantastic Four on July 25, 2025, and conclude with Avengers, Secret Wars on May 7, 2027. Notably, there are still release dates set for February 13, 2026, July 24, 2026, and November 6, 2026, which are yet to be filled. Among these, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings sequel and Armor Wars are strong candidates for the February or July slots, with Doctor Strange 3 likely filling the November date to explore multiverse concepts further. Additionally, Spider-Man 4 could be positioned either in December 2026 or early 2027. These placements are speculated based on their relevance to upcoming MCU narratives and their potential impact on future Avengers storylines. Recently, Ed Boon, a creator of the series, shared a sneak peek image of Katana from the film. While labeled as a leak, it was clearly a planned release to hype the upcoming sequel. The image reveals Katana's design, showing her iconic blades and costume, although it's a partial reveal with no face details. The color of her outfit appears somewhat off, possibly due to the film's color grading, and while the initial impression is mixed, it's too early to judge. Fans are hopeful for accurate portrayals and connections to the first film's characters, like Melina, despite rumors of significant changes. Overall, there's excitement for the sequel, especially given the mixed but promising nature of the first film, which sets a solid foundation for the next installment. As D23 approaches, fans can look forward to a major focus on Marvel Studios' TV offerings, with Daredevil taking center stage. Charlie Cox confirmed that Daredevil will be prominently featured at the event, following a somewhat underwhelming Marvel presence at San Diego Comic-Con. Since Daredevil Born Again is the next live-action series to debut after Agatha, which concludes in late October or early November, it's logical for Marvel to kick off its promotional campaign at D23. This event will likely include posters, merchandise, and possibly some clips or images, although a full trailer may be reserved for closer to the series' March release. With Daredevil being a fan favorite and a highly anticipated series, D23's spotlight on it is a strategic move to build excitement and anticipation. Ryan Reynolds recently shed light on the mismanagement at Fox, revealing why the studio ultimately failed. He recounted the tumultuous production of Deadpool, where budget cuts began with an initial $75 million, then dropped to $60 million, and finally settled at $50 million. Despite these financial constraints, the film turned out exceptionally well. Reynolds also disclosed that he was paid a modest salary of around $150,000 to $200,000, significantly less than the film's earnings. To support the project, he used his own money to keep the writers on set for rewrites during production. This decision underscored Fox's ineffective and profit-driven approach, which, despite the film's success, contributed to the studio's eventual downfall. Whenever a new Marvel or DC film is released, discussions often arise about how creators feel overlooked or inadequately credited, and this time, it's one of Wolverine's co-creators, Roy Thomas, who's expressing dissatisfaction. Although Wolverine was developed by multiple contributors, including Roy Thomas, he feels his contributions should be more prominently acknowledged. This issue mirrors past instances, like the credit and royalties disputes involving characters such as Batman and Deadpool, where key creators have been marginalized. Thomas likens his situation to the Beatles, where only one name is often highlighted. He argues that while major studios like Disney and Marvel make billions, they often skimp on proper credit and compensation for the original creators, a long-standing issue in the industry that remains unresolved. In the upcoming Avengers films, it's expected that there will be significant casualties to heighten the stakes, especially with the introduction of Doctor Doom. Based on past speculations and trends, one major casualty might be Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, due to her reported retirement and the potential for Marvel to use her character's death to make a statement. Another possible casualty is Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, who could be written out due to his less central role and real-life limitations. However, a major impact might come from the potential death of Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, particularly if Tony Stark, reimagined as Doctor Doom, targets him. This would resonate deeply with the team and fans, mirroring the emotional weight of previous character losses. Thus, the likely casualties are the Wasp, Hawkeye, and potentially the Winter Soldier, with the latter's death intended to emphasize Doctor Doom's formidable threat. The second weekend box office performance of Deadpool and Wolverine is critical, as it can determine the film's long-term success. With the official Friday figures now in, the film has exceeded expectations, pulling in $28.3 million on its first Friday. This suggests a potential weekend total exceeding $80 million, with a projected drop of 52% to 56%. This strong performance places it as the 8th highest second weekend in history and the 5th best for the MCU. If the weekend numbers surpass $90 million, the film could maintain robust earnings, possibly exceeding $750 million overall. The final worldwide figures are still awaited, but the outlook remains highly promising. Marvel Studios is reportedly planning to handle the issue of Jonathan Majors' character, Kang the Conqueror, by simply never mentioning him again in the MCU. According to Alex Perez of Cosmic Circus, the new direction will involve Doctor Doom taking over as the main antagonist, with Kang being entirely written out. This approach has been met with skepticism, as some view it as a lazy and unsatisfactory resolution, especially given Marvel's history of meticulously addressing plot details. While some speculate that Doom might defeat Kang and the Council of Kangs quickly in the opening of Doomsday, many feel that leaving Kang's fate unaddressed is a poor choice. The community will have to wait for further developments, but this strategy might not be well received by fans expecting a more thorough explanation